dead, where evil lurks in every shadow, and monsters roam the streets. Mankind's only survival rests in the hands of two Welsh warriors. Armed with boomsticks, chainsaws, bad language, these beacons of hope will stop at nothing to obliterate deadites, vampires, psychotic nurses. So, hold tight, strap in, and let the professionals take charge. Otherwise, you're in for a rough, blood-soaked night.
Hey, all right?
Happy Sunday.
Happy Sunday. I literally just seen you about
I know.
4 hours ago.
You all right?
Yeah, good. I've been a bit rushed over. Just trying to sort our shop. We've got like a merch shop now, and I'm trying to finalize all the designs and stuff. I'm trying to connect it to a channel, but like everything, it's not smooth sailing, so it's a pain in the ass. I'm a bit flustered. Yeah. How's things, all right?
Yeah, not bad. Had a nice chill day. Obviously, we've spent the weekend together. We've had a bit of good news this weekend. Obviously, we've just been monetized, so we can open up our channel to membership, and that happened yesterday when we were together. So we had a few pints, had some food out, cracking weekend. Do you want to tell him what we watched, Jenks?
We watched. We didn't have a good weekend of films, did we? We watched Jason X. Yeah, not as good as I remember it. Yes. I'm willing to accept defeat. I'll always be honest if it's. I think when I watched it first, I kind of just enjoyed it for what it is. I saw it in the cinema. It was tongue in cheek, but I don't know. It was really shit, wasn't it? It was really struggled with music and everything.
That's the problem. It's the score as well. And I know when I was younger, I know why I didn't like it, because I was so precious over Jason, and I just thought it was a bit of a gimmick. But I thought I could enjoy it now because, I'm not as precious over anymore.
Yeah.
But it's just not a very good film. No. It feels like a sci-fi movie.
Yeah.
The kills are great, so the budget's there. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, and the kills are inventive. It's just his mask doesn't look right. It's too flat, too square looking. Yeah. I don't know why they'd have to tamper with his mask. It's not like, I've never really understood why they tampered with Michael Myers' mask so much. Copyright or something, maybe some weird shit.
Yeah, I did ask a question on one of our videos, because I was talking about it with someone in our chat, and it must be a copyright thing, because obviously it's William Shatner's face.
Yes, but with the hockey mask, I'm pretty sure, there's never been an issue.
Well, they went for something new and it didn't work. It doesn't look badly made. It just...
No, you're right. I just like consistency. I like Jason to look like Jason. And he wasn't a zombie in it, which is strange to me. Like, he's got to be a zombie, innit?
Yeah. Right, enough Jason X.
Sorry. And then we watched Freddy 5. We won't go too much into it because we're going to do a review soon. Yeah.
I'm going to struggle to review that one. It wasn't crap, but it also wasn't good enough to rave about. Yeah. It was just a bit flat for me.
Yeah, you're right.
I struggled to make notes. I struggled to pull things from it to review. It's going to be, the video's going to be like 5 minutes long.
That's fine. Our videos are too long anyway. And then what did we watch this morning now? I forgot. Strangers, Chapter 1.
Oh, yeah. My God. Has anyone in the chat seen Strangers Chapter 1 yet? I've held off quite a bit because obviously I've seen all the negative stuff. I'll always make my own mind up about films. But I wasn't in a rush to watch it. I love the original one. And there's not much wrong with it again. It was just... the heroes were awful. They made so many stupid decisions. It was just unforgivable. And again, just a bit flat. Yeah,
and they kept like hugging whenever they got through some sort of danger, thinking there's no time to hug until you're completely out of the danger. Yeah, it was nonsense.
There was no sense of urgency, like.
No, not at all. I'm going to read a few chats. Wendy, how do you pronounce that surname? Palfrey, is it?
Palfrey, yeah.
Palfrey. Evening, Curtis and Jenks. Evening, everybody. Hi, Wendy.
Evening, Wendy. Thanks for jumping on.
Eli, oh man, what's up, Jenkins and Curtis? Hope you guys are doing awesome. We are doing awesome. We had the awesome weekend because, like we just said, we've been monetized and we had success with our latest video. Anything close to 1,000 views for a small channel like us is massive.
Yeah, of course.
So it's all relative to the amount of subscribers and the reach you have. But it was just great, and yeah, it was because we have so many. There's lots of lows doing a YouTube channel.
Yeah.
So you've got to sell. You know,
sometimes you spend so much time in a video, you chuck it out there, and when it flops, it's exactly like a movie flopping. You know, they spend all this time as if it's the same thing.
But we didn't spend.
I'm editing a video in bed at 7 o'clock in the morning, like
on your phone. And we didn't spend 200 million.
Yeah.
But no, it's anyone who's done a YouTube channel will know there's so many highs and lows, so you've got to jump on the highs and just roll with the lows, you know. Evening, Dawn Keith. Hello, Jenks and Curtis and Jord. It's 7:30.
Oh, so Don, the Jordan one is going to be a separate video next Wednesday. We're going to be doing a video with Jordan.
Yes. We're jumping
Jordan isn't jumping on this one.
Yeah, we're jumping on his. It'll be. I thought it was 8 o'clock.
8:15. Yeah, 8:15.
8:15 on Wednesday. We'll be on his channel, returning the favour basically, because he jumped on ours. It's part and parcel of growing a network of horror YouTubers, and so far we're doing really well, I think.
Yeah, definitely.
Making some, not just sort of connections, you're kind of making some friends, I think, anyway. Well, I feel like we're gaining some
definitely.
friendships.
Yeah, definitely. And not just YouTubers, like people in the chats as well. Like,
yeah, definitely.
Do you know what I mean? We've met some awesome people.
Yeah.
All right, lads. All right, Abigail Palfrey.
Yeah. Do you want to read a few? Good.
Yeah, go on then. Where are we? We've got Chunky Geordie in the chat. Hi, Chunky Geordie. Thank you for jumping on. As always, you're awesome.
How far is your computer? Is it your mouse?
Pretty far, like.
It's
great to see you guys again. Eli, it's great to be back, pal. Thank you, mate.
You're going to get Curtis. You're going to find a film. A shit film. A shit film. Just look for something good. He probably hasn't seen it. He's only seen shit.
Again, thank you, Eli, mate. Really appreciate that one. Amazing news. Thank you, Abby. Thank you so much. Oh, we've just had an alert that Jordan Moran has become a level 1 member.
Yes, welcome to the Twisted family.
You're an absolute legend, pal. Thank you so much for that. We appreciate it so much. I haven't seen it, but you heard terrible things about. Yeah, I wouldn't be in a rush to watch it, pal. Chapter 2 and 3 may be good, so it may be worth jumping on it before they come out.
Yeah, I think the big problem with it was that it was not inventive. It wasn't bad. It just was like people in the woods with that.
No, of course. It didn't do anything new. We'll switch level 2 and I get paid. Hey, Jordan, you're an absolute legend, pal. But we will be adding a shit ton more content to our level 2 tier before long. We've just got to get some videos set up and out there.
Yeah.
It kind of happened out of nowhere and we haven't really got the content yet, but we're working on it.
Yes, and what our plan is to have a very simple level 1, 99 pence, 99 cents. And then level 2 is going to be the only level we do the higher level, and it's just going to be jam-packed. We're not going to do millions of levels because, maybe one day, but definitely not at the moment.
Yeah, definitely.
Have we got it? Yes. So today we are doing a vampire tier. The main reason we're doing it is because there's fuck all horror films to review.
I've been getting cold shakes this week because I haven't seen any new horror films.
Yes, so whenever we do a tier, which I do love a tier.
Yes, of course.
But we save them basically for when it's not there's no cinema releases
we want at least 3 to review, really, innit? Just so we can get a good long show. We want 3 movies to review.
Yeah.
But we went through a stage where I was going to cinema 3 times a week, right, and seeing top tier movies, and I haven't been to cinema in 2 weeks.
Yeah, I think it's because Halloween. I think it just sapped up all the horror films, and we don't have anything. to watch. Let's quickly a couple of these now. Dawn, okie dokie, thanks for letting me know. Subservience is on Netflix soon. I'm looking forward to watching it after you recommended it. I haven't seen it. Have you seen it?
Maybe you mean The Substance.
Subservience might be a different film.
Yeah, I can't remember talking about that one.
Yeah, if it's The Substance, definitely recommend that. I don't know if it's coming on Netflix anytime soon, no?
Yeah.
But it might have been somebody else who recommended it, so maybe you've just recommended it to us.
Yeah.
So we may watch that. Yeah, so we're going to do a tier. There's not enough, like I said, there's not enough horrors to review. And again, we love doing tiers. So we got 20 vampire films, and we're just going 3 categories. Where's my tier thing? Yeah, here we go. 3 categories because there's too many, and these are all awesome films. There's no shit ones here. Hang on 1 second.
That's the
Substance.
There
yes.
we are. Yeah, Substance.
Oh,
Definitely watch that one. Don.
Yes,
It's a cracking film. My favorite film of the year.
Oh, it's awesome. So we've got 20 awesome vampire films, and we're going to try and put them in order.
Too good.
Yes, we have.
How are we going to put any of those last?
We've been a bit lazy. We've simplified it. We've got platinum, gold, and silver.
You've been lazy. You're the money man. Yeah, you've got the titles.
Well, I was in the car earlier. I was thinking, okay, obviously the worst is going to be it's sucks or something, and I thought, well, none of them suck, and I just thought, oh, this is going to be too hard. They're all too good. Yeah. So I think it's fair. Platinum, gold, silver, and it's quite clear then that they're all awesome. So,
of course.
We are going to start with one of my favourite films of the year, and it's Abigail. Came out 2024, directed by Radio Silence. And, what do you think?
Yeah, this is an absolute standout of the year. It's for sure going to be in my top movies when we do a top movies of the year ranking.
Yes.
I love this film. I had minor problems with it. Nothing that took away from the film too much. But it's basically a group of thieves. They steal this young girl to extort money off her rich father. They lock her up in a house, and their boss locks the house down for the night, and they've got to survive the night with this seemingly normal girl for the night. It turns out Abigail is a vampire, and they are now all locked in this house. And Dan Stevens, that's all I'll say. It's got a stacked cast.
Yes.
But I'm there for Dan Stevens. He plays a great part in this one. But everyone is fantastic. It's got great violence. It's got a great one location. As I've said loads, I love one location movies. And I'm sure everyone in the chat has seen this one. It was an absolute standout.
My favourite character in it is Catherine Newton. Now, she's a good actress. She's in Lisa Frankenstein, but she steals the show in this.
Great. She's so wacky, and she's nuts.
And there's one scene in it where they looks for garlic, and she comes back with an onion, which is like kind of believable because they're quite similar. Just to read a couple of these, we got Movie Squirm on. Hi lads, hope you're good. The Lost Boys surely top tier. Have a great stream.
Oh, wrong side. Representing Lost Boys.
Well, we haven't got Forsaken, but we do have Let the Right One In. It's there somewhere, I think.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is there.
And just to remind everybody, we are with Movie Squirm now Wednesday on his channel, so jump on. He's got an awesome horror channel, very similar to ours. So definitely jump on. Loved Abigail.
Yes.
It is awesome.
Hi, Ella, by the way. I think, did we see your...
Oh, sorry, Ella.
No, it's okay.
Loved Abigail. It's quite underrated. It's kind of forgotten about now, isn't it? Which is sad. Right, I am going to put this in gold. It's a very good film, and I'm going to stick it in gold.
Yes, absolutely. Because it's so fresh and new, I'm probably going to reserve top tier for the classics. But I'd shove it in gold as well. Do you know, John, I've been holding off seeing Gladiator 2 in cinema because it's 2.5 hours. Now, I struggle to watch long films in cinema because I've got a shit bladder, right? Watching Blade Runner and Gladiator 2 back-to-back, that's about 6 hours. That's insane.
I love the way you put bladder and shit together, There's something wrong there. You go see a doctor.
They go hand in hand. Yes, I've got gold.
Abigail, from Matilda to Abigail, she's got a bright future. Do you know, my daughter was watching Matilda the other day. I haven't seen it because it's not the original. I can't be bothered. But it's kind of strange to see her in Matilda and how good she is as a vampire. She's amazing.
Yeah, of course.
High top class. Right. Next up, we have Blade. This is the 1998 Wesley Snipes vampire horror superhero. It is a superhero, but it's just, it doesn't have to be. It's connected to Marvel. He plays the Daywalker, the vampire slayer. He can walk in the day, kill vampires. He ages like a normal person, but he's got all the sort of skills and the sort of all the advantages of a vampire, and he's fucking badass. Best role he's ever done. I'd say, I don't know, top tier maybe.
Blade's an absolute classic. It was a standout movie growing up. I remember having this one on VHS. I loved it. It hasn't aged very well. There's a lot of bad CGI in it now. The time it was made was when CGI just really started to come
with
in.
The hand turning red.
Yeah,
blood.
all those things now, the movies that came out around that time, they haven't aged very well. Obviously, Blade's an absolute classic. I'd put it in gold.
I'm going to stick mine in platinum because I used to have this poster on my wall. Anything that makes it on my wall gets platinum. I
got too many posters on my wall.
I did have Carmen Electra on my wall once as well. So she. Are you going for gold? Yeah.
Yeah, gold.
Going for gold. Right. Next up, we have Day Shift. It starred. What's his name? Forgotten his name now.
Jamie Foxx. And Dave Franco.
He steals the show. James.
Yes.
Dave
and
Franco.
Snoop Dogg.
Yeah. Do you know? This film is very underrated and it's just kind of lost in the mix, but it's really fucking good. I don't know why people didn't watch it.
No, of course. I thought this was going to be another one of those throwaway Netflix movies. There's been so many of them.
Oh, yeah.
It looked in the same vein as Bright with Will Smith. No, I actually enjoyed that one, but
yes,
it was a Netflix movie, and I thought this one was going to be in the same vein,
Yeah.
But oh my God, there is so many epic scenes in this movie. Like you said, Dave Franco is an absolute standout. He steals the show. And Jamie Foxx is as cool as they come.
Yeah, he is. And he's a strange career because he had an Oscar for when he played Ray Charles.
Ray, yeah.
And he's had a career, but he's just not... I don't know, it just seems to be in bit parts, isn't it? I don't know. Do
you know one of the best films he's done is Collateral with Tom Cruise.
Yeah, that was
epic.
It's amazing. I watched it the other day. One of the best Tom Cruise films.
It is. It's epic.
Yeah.
There's all the scene as well in Day Shift. You know where they're all fighting in the house, and you've got the contortionists coming out of like boxes and stuff.
Yeah.
Oh my God, epic.
It's at the scene with you got what's that British martial artist? He's the fat guy in
Scott Adkins.
He's one of them. Is that the scene?
Yeah, I think so. I think he was one of them. And then
I know he's in it. Definitely.
Yeah. The guy from Shameless. Yeah, US. Don't know if you've seen that.
Yeah, I've seen them all. Love it.
Yeah. They're next door neighbours.
Yeah. Oh, yes, of course. Yeah, the big muscly guy. Yeah.
Yeah, he's huge.
Right. I would say Day Shift silver. It's not quite gold or platinum. I think it's got to go silver for me. What do you think?
I absolutely love this film. I'd have to put in silver just because of some of the other picks we've got up in there. And I am going to struggle not to put every film top tier because they're all great. But Day Shift, I'd put in silver, but it's still a top class movie. Oh,
platinum for Eli for Day Shift. Fair play.
I wouldn't disagree, Palace. Class film.
Yeah. Right, next up, we've got I Am Legend. This is platinum all fucking day. I love this film. It is.
It's not even a vampire film. It's meant to be, but it's not.
It is a vampire film. It's according to the book, and they're pretty much vampires, isn't it?
I get that, but when I was younger, I was shocked to find out they were vampires.
Yes,
because they changed so much. Everything. Now I haven't read the book, but I love the story. I've seen the original films. and I love the lore of it. They just, everything that was great about the book, everything that made the book brilliant, they took it out for this film, and they run with their own thing, like, do you know what I mean? They're zombies. It's an apocalypse movie with zombies.
Very similar. I would say like some kind of vampire hybrid zombies, you know, because they sleep all day. It's the only sort of connection, really, because in the thing. But it's still a vampire film, and I'm going to stick it in, and I'm going to stick it top tier because I love it, even though there's flaws.
Lowest tier for me. Lowest tier, boy.
Cheeky bastard. I'm trying to read the chat as we go. It's much easier because we're talking about stuff, and then it's like 5 films back, and yeah, if we ever ignore you, it's not because we're ignoring. We're just incompetent. Okay, just
no, you're incompetent, pal.
Eli, I got a movie that was Stump Curtis, Trailer Park Shark.
If that's a real film, pal, which I don't doubt it is, there's worse sounding films than that.
That's the best name for a film I've ever heard.
Shark Side of the Moon. Now, I've heard of that one. Where there's sharks on the moon. But no, you've stumped me, Eli. I have never heard of that one.
Yeah, so, but has he seen it? Has Eli seen it, or has he just heard of it? I got a movie that was Stump.
Have you seen it, Eli? Have you actually seen it?
Eli, I Am a Legend, Silver, 100% Curtis, fair play. Do you know, I was thinking up some bad shark film titles the other day. I was like, Time Shark, Nazi Shark, and Talking Shark. Now, my mate of mine loves shark films, and I said, out of those 3, which one would you watch? He said, Talking Shark.
Yeah. God, yeah. Seconds, there's a few more comments. Let me read these.
Yeah.
The trifecta of vampire brilliance for me is Lost Boys, Fright Night, Near Dark. I love Near Dark, right? I absolutely love it. But I would take Near Dark out and put in From Dusk Till Dawn. Yes.
So it's on the list, so don't worry, they'll be there.
Yeah.
Jordan, Let the Right One In's good tier. Yeah.
100%. Let's add a god tier for that one film. What the fuck, Jenks, lol. I saw Shark Side of the Moon on Tubi.
Yeah, we assumed you had. We assumed you had. Let's have a look.
It has Tara Reid from American Pie.
Yeah, Tara Reid. She's in there, poor bastard.
Good girl.
She was in Sharknado as well. She's in Sharknado 5
I think so, yeah.
Anyway,
she's found her niche.
So the next up we have Near Dark.
Yes.
Catherine Bigelow came out 80. I got written down here. 87. Good year for movies.
I am a huge fan of this film. I love it. I know I did just say I'll drop it From Dusk Till Dawn, but I'm a huge fan of Near Dark. It's a proper classic. You got a great cast. It's got a great concept. The vampires drive about in the day in a blacked out van.
Like gangsters.
What's his name, man?
Bill Paxton. Lance Henriksen.
Oh my God, Bill Paxton's so good in this film with the blade in his shoe, that bit when he's standing on the bar and he just taps the blade out and cuts that guy's throat.
Yeah.
I remember, right, I'd always wanted to watch Near Dark, and I remember it being released on DVD when I was really young. They had a full wall of them on HMV. I bought it and the disc wouldn't work, right? And I remember getting something from HMV to say they were all being recalled because none of the discs worked, and that's always a memory of Near Dark that's always stuck.
Yeah,
I was so bummed out. But Near Dark, top tier for me.
So
I love it.
It's got the chick from
Terminator 2.
She's in Terminator 2. She's in Aliens.
And Aliens.
So she plays like a Mexican girl in Aliens. And everyone assumed she was Mexican.
Yeah.
Back in the day. I think because it was Catherine Bigelow was married, I think, to James Cameron. That's where the connection is.
Yeah.
I like this film. I watched it quite late in life, so I don't have the same nostalgia. So I'm going to stick this in the lower tier, I'm afraid. That's no reflection on the quality.
Hey, you haven't put mine up, boy.
I haven't done it yet. What did you say it was?
You've done yours. I said top tier.
Platinum. I worked hard on those. titles.
I worked hard on those titles.
So in a second, read a couple of things. Andy makes Star Wars. Hi, lads. John Carpenter's Vampires is an underrated film, I find. Yes, it is underrated. I'm kind of lost.
Yeah. Do you know what? I haven't seen it in so long. I need to rewatch it. John Carpenter's my favourite director, but Vampires is never one I connected to when I was younger, and I haven't gone back to watch it recently.
Yeah.
But I definitely need to.
And the main vampire is Terry Silver in Cobra Kai.
Yeah.
Andy makes Star Wars. Welcome to the channel. I don't think you've been on before. I made a comment, so cheers for joining us. If you have,
I've just recently spoke to Andy in one of the comments. Thanks for jumping on, pal. Appreciate that.
Awesome. Thanks, dude. Right. We have got Let the Right One In. This, I would say, for me, it's so it came out, it came out 2008. It's been remade kind of twice.
Let Me In.
And the TV series.
The TV series with Mexican Bob, what's his name, from The Hateful Eight.
Yeah, I've never seen the TV show. I think it got cancelled.
It got cancelled after one season, yeah.
I really, really like the film. I would probably put it in gold because I've never watched it lots of times. It's kind of like I think I might have watched it once or twice.
Yeah.
And the remake's pretty good as well, I think.
Yeah, it's not a bad remake.
Matt Reeves. What do you think?
Yeah, Let the Right One In is god tier. It absolutely goes on the top spot for me. I remember watching this one in college when I was studying film in college. When I was studying film, yeah. I remember our tutor putting this on for us just to watch. He was like, switch off, we're not here to study it. You need to see this film. I remember we sat in like the theatre room in college and we watched this. And I was just like, oh my fucking God. Yeah. It's such a great grim film. Makes you feel buzzing after watching it.
Yeah.
I've gone back to this one multiple times. And the remake's not bad either.
I did try the book, but the book was a bit too much for me. I think it's because it's translated in English. It's kind of some of the greatness is probably lost. So I like the remake, but I think Chloe Moretz, do you know when people got three names?
And what's his name now? Something Schmidt.
The boy.
God, yeah.
Yeah, and the father's that guy from Cabin in the Woods, and I always forget his name. He's in loads of stuff.
Oh, what's his name? It's going to kill me. He's in Ender's Game.
I don't know. Do you know, I think what makes the original better is the little girl has just got something about her, hasn't she? She's got that look. She's mesmerising.
Yeah, and also... What's more unsettling about the original one is that because it's a foreign movie, we don't know any of the actors.
Yeah.
Sometimes these big Hollywood movies can be a little bit off-putting when you've got big stars like Chloe Grace Moretz in them. Can kind of take you out of it. But the original one, and because it's not familiar territory, because it's a foreign movie, they're always going to be scarier, in my opinion, personal opinion, because it's unfamiliar territory.
Yeah, totally. So I'm going to put it in gold. It's a cracking film. Just going to read a couple of comments. I love Interview the Vampire. Both two of my favourite actors, Tom Cruise. I mean, Tom Cruise and Brad Pitt in the same film. And a young Kirsten Dunst. It's a cracking film. Have you got this in your list? Yes, we have. It's coming up.
We have. Yeah.
Definitely coming up. One more comment. Hi, Andy. No worries, lads. Subbed as well. Awesome.
Legend. Thank you so much,
Appreciate that, dude. Right. Next up, we have Salem's Lot. Now, it is a TV show, but they did make into a TV movie and release it.
I always class this as a movie. Always.
So in case people moan.
Yeah, no.
Right. So Salem's Lot came out in 1979, based on Stephen King's book, made by Toby Hooper, and everyone knows this film. It's been remade twice. It's awesome, and it's got the best vampire monster ever, Kurt Barlow. You know where this is going in my list. Where's it going in yours? Same, platinum. Come
on. It belongs nowhere else but platinum. It's one of the best Stephen King adaptations ever.
Yes.
I think Salem's Lot and Silver Bullet capture Stephen King the best, in my opinion. those small main towns and the characters. These two, when I watched them as a kid, I was like, this is Stephen King. And I always associate Stephen King with these movies, I think, the most. And It, of course.
Yeah.
But yeah, Salem's Lot's fantastic.
Can you imagine in 1979, when I was born, watching Salem's Lot on TV? It blew people's minds. Like, they'd never seen anything like it.
Do you know, I was speaking to my stepfather about it, right? And he remembers it coming out on TV. And he said, kind of like how it is now, right? Where everyone's talking about one thing.
Yeah.
He said, anywhere you went, he said, I'd go to work, I'd go to the shop, people would be talking about it, people would be saying, oh, have you seen Salem's Lot? And yeah, it did. It blew people's mind. It's crazy.
Yeah, because it did a rerun in the 80s, and I watched it on TV. And there's the creepy bit with the window,
on the window.
tap bit. It's so disturbing.
Do you know what's scarier than that? When they redone it in What We Do in the Shadows, and he knocks him.
Come to me, boom. Right, Eli, Tales of the Crypt, Bordello of Blood. Not a fan of that. I did see that on video. I think it's the Corey Feldman one, isn't it, if I'm right?
I've never actually seen that one. Now, I've seen Demon Night.
Yeah, I saw that with Billy Zane.
I've never got around to watching Bordello of Blood. But, Eli, if you recommend it, I will give it a watch.
Now,
definitely.
Eli, are you winding us up? Are you trolling us?
I had this on DVD. I loved it when I was younger, but I haven't seen it in a long time. Great concept, mind. A vampire that travels by plane. Brilliant. The Night Flyer.
You're not selling it. Right. So, Salem's Lot, top tier. Right. 30 Days of Night. Now, do you want to kick us off, Kurt?
Yeah, of course. It's got to be the best concept for a vampire movie. So, I think it's set in Alaska, and once a year they get 30 Days of Night. Now, I haven't seen this one in a long time. I do like it a lot. But it is the best setting for a vampire movie ever, because the vampires get to feast for 30 days.
Yeah.
And it's got Josh Hartnett in there. I think this was one of the last big movies he'd done before he kind of left. I wouldn't say fell off.
He's back
he
now.
kind of left. It's got a few crap sequels. I think it's based on a graphic novel.
Yeah.
But yes, it's got Stryker in it from X-Men. He's a great vampire in this one.
I forget his name now. British guy.
And he's in the Crow remake.
Yeah, he's a British guy. And I forget his name.
I can't remember his name now.
I'm not a big fan of this. I liked it a lot. No, it is a good film. There was lots of flaws in it. Now, it may have come out in a time when we had loads of great films and it just got lost in the mix. And maybe if I went back, I'd enjoy it. I just think for me, it was, when he's like, they're in the attic for like pretty much 30 days waiting it out. None of them are, they're all clean shaven. Doesn't seem like many time has passed at all. It's like those cops go in the sewer in Dark Knight Rises. There's no time has passed at all. But it has got some cool moments, and it's a great concept, really good concept. But it'll have to go the lower tier for me.
Yeah, I'd put it in gold.
Gold?
Yeah, why not?
Treat yourself.
Treat yourself.
Treat yourself. 1 second, read a couple of these. 30 Days of Night, Platinum, Eli. Yeah, fair enough. Just agree with Curtis, yeah. Oh no, you didn't put it in. You didn't put in Platinum.
You were a hard man to agree with, Jenks. You can't take that personally.
Don Keat, love 30 Days of Night. Yeah, it is a classic, and I wish I liked it more because I don't have a lot of hate for it. It just didn't connect to me. Right, next up we've got From Dusk Till Dawn. This came out in 96, directed by Robert Rodriguez, stars George Clooney, is probably the coolest guy ever. I kind of wish he'd have a spin-off with just him on some adventure. It doesn't have to have vampires. I just want to see this guy, Seth, what's his surname now? Seth Gecko, and Tarantino's his brother, and it's just an awesome vampire romp. And if you haven't seen it, why? Does it make sense?
Yeah, From Dusk Till Dawn for me, always been one of my favourite movies. It's in my top 3 favourite movies of all time. It is the coolest movie ever made, by far. Like you said, George Clooney. Yes, you've got Richard and Seth Gecko, they're brothers on the run from the police, and they want to cross the border into Mexico. The first half of the movie is a classic Tarantino movie, a classic gangster flick. Obviously, Tarantino wrote the script for this one, give it to Robert Rodriguez to direct, because Tarantino wanted to focus on acting. And yeah, the first half of the movie, you get a Tarantino film. Yeah. Everything. You've got the slick dialogue, the great gangster characters. Once they cross the border and they arrive at the Titty Twister, it turns into a Robert Rodriguez movie, and that's the switch you've got in this one. But yeah, as soon as they get in that pub, all hell breaks loose. You've got Fred Williamson, Tom Savini, Greg Nicotero, Quentin Tarantino, Harvey Keitel, Juliette Lewis. It has got the most stacked cast of any horror movie ever. If you're a fan of genre movies, cult movies, it's got everyone in there. And this film does not give up from the second it starts. Oh my God, I could talk all night about this film because I absolutely adore it. I watch it about 10 times a year, easily.
And it's got the sexiest vampire dance ever by Salma Hayek.
Yes, and
smoking hot.
The best soundtrack of all time.
Yeah. It's
amazing.
Awesome. It goes a little bit zany towards the end with some of the gore.
Don't, shut up. Stop. You don't have to say anything bad. Jenks, you can just say a film's good. You don't have to pick holes in it, all right? You're not picking holes in From Dusk Till Dawn.
I'll pick holes whenever I want, boy.
But you don't have to pick holes in things, all right?
From Dusk Till Dawn is Gold Tier, Screw Platinum, because of Salma Hayek.
Yeah. Do you know, I've always said, right, I've always had this thing where obviously Tarantino wrote the script. And I'm telling you now, right, he arrived on set, Salma Hayek's there, ready to go. She's got the snakes on her shoulder and she's all dressed up. I'm telling you, he went in that back room and rewrote that scene where she puts her foot in his mouth and pours the liquor into her. Yeah. Because we all know Tarantino's got a thing for feet. He can deny it all he wants.
Oh, it's no debate. Every film's got feet.
Yeah.
That's his thing. That's his I'll be back.
From Dusk Till Dawn, I don't know why it's not my favourite movie of all time. That's got to go to The Thing, but it's in my top 3 of all time. Yeah. I love this movie. And what's crazy, right, is I'm a huge Tom Savini fan and I'm a huge Quentin Tarantino fan, right? They're probably 2 of my favourite people in cinema, right? And when I was a kid, I only associated them with this film. I didn't know Tarantino was a director. Yeah. I only knew him as this character, and same as Tom Savini. I loved Sex Machine. He's such a cool character. He's got the cock gun. I'm glad he gets plenty of screen time as well. And when I found out who they were, I was like, oh, that's Tarantino from Dusk Till Dawn. So everything I know about these guys, I always associated it with From Dusk Till Dawn. Awesome film. I adore it.
I kind of wish, they kept the vampire thing a secret and just because on the cover it's clearly like a horror film, and if they kind of had the balls to just get gangster fans to go there and go, what the fuck is a fan? Or would they piss them off?
But I have heard stories that when it was on TV, people who weren't clued up on movies, that's the time that the film got to shine. Because if you're skimming through channels and you're not that clued up, you go, oh, From Dusk Till Dawn, what's this? Oh, George Clooney, and then you watch it. Yeah. I think that's when the movie worked, but they would have had to market the horror in it. Do you know what I mean? It's the same as Abigail.
Isn't it a shame, right? Or crazy that this came out in 96. The following year, George Clooney was in Batman. The most polarizing character.
Do you know, I went to, here in the UK, we have Butlins, right? And they do adult weekends where only adults are allowed. It's usually quite like a family-friendly park. You've got clubs and, caravans and stuff. And I went to an adult weekend with my friends, and it was 90s weekend. So you go dressed as 90s characters. All my mates are all dressed up as silly characters, recognisable characters. And I turn up dressed as Seth Gecko. I had the full suit. I even got my brother to do me the tribal tattoo all up my arm and neck. No one knew who the hell I was. And I thought, why did I have to do this?
Do you know, right? George Clooney could still pull off a Seth Gecko film.
Oh, 100%.
You know, just old man Gecko,
yeah.
like Logan.
Oh, do you know the way he delivers his lines, especially when they're in Benny's World of Liquor?
Yeah.
Oh my God, that guy! No one has delivered lines better than George Clooney in this film. The coolest, and what I love about it is he has got a bit of moral, so you can follow him. His brother Richard Gecko, Tarantino, he's horrific, right? You cannot like this guy.
No.
But Seth, he's got morals and he's easy to get on with. He's a bit up his own ass sometimes, but you can like him. He's good.
Totally.
Like. Do you know what I mean? He's a bank robber, not a killer.
Yeah, unfortunately, it's probably not going to happen because I think they might have fallen out because Tarantino called him that he's not a movie star and he was kind of got a bit assy about it. Do you hear that?
Yeah.
Basically, yeah. So it's fucking true. Can't sell movies anymore. Nobody can. Andy makes Star Wars. I saw Batman and Robin in the cinema. Yeah, me too as well. Weirdly, I thought it was a brilliant film at first. The Batman blinkers on. Yeah, I bet loads of people did.
I gotta be honest. I enjoy watching it just because it's Batman. Now, I don't think it's a good film. But when I rewatch all the Batman movies, because I'm a big fan, I'll always put Batman and Robin on. And I think Annie is great in it, right? I don't care what you say.
Yeah.
What killed the dinosaurs? The Ice Age!
The Ice Age!
Those cheesy one-liners.
So we've talked about this long for about an hour, so I'm guessing silver. Both platinum. Would you agree? Yeah.
Absolutely.
No, yes. Right. Next up, we have Interview with a Vampire.
Yes.
So this is a classic. It came out. 1 second. I got all my notes and dates. 94. And based on Anne Rice's classic novel, it's got Brad Pitt and Tom Cruise in the same film. That's
Anne Rice hated that casting, by the way. There's a massive stink about her. Yeah. When they cast her, she brought up such a stink that it was something that was brought up all the time to Tom Cruise, you know, in interviews and stuff. But yeah, she was horrified with the casting.
It's great. You got a young Kirsten Dunst who's brilliant as the little girl vampire. It's an awesome film. When it first came out, I didn't watch it because it was a bit too grown up for me, like. But I watched it a little bit later, and it's great. And you know, having Tom Cruise and Brad Pitt in the same film, it was like when you brought in, you know, Robert De Niro and Al Pacino in the same film, like two awesome actors.
Two of the biggest hitters of their generation.
Yeah, like. of their generation. You could argue which is, you know, Al Pacino is one of the best actors ever, Robert De Niro, but Tom Cruise and Brad Pitt are massive, you know, especially of the 90s. Still big now, obviously.
Too big.
So I'll put this in silver. It is a classic, but I've never massively connected with it, but I've got a lot of respect for it.
I'd put in silver as well. I watched it for gold, not silver. I watched this for the first time about 4 years ago, and I had a hell of a time with it. Like you, when I was younger, I never wanted to watch it. It seemed too grown up. I'm not a massive fan of things set in Victorian times, but I had a hell of a good time with it. Obviously, Tom Cruise and Brad Pitt are phenomenal in it. Yeah. And Tom Cruise was absolutely not miscast in this one.
No, he's awesome in it. He's really good.
Yeah.
Don't forget smash that like button and subscribe to the channel. Thank you, Eli.
Eli, you're awesome, pal. Thank you, mate.
Thanks for the support. Yes, so next up we've got, now I threw it in, it's controversial because it's not a pure vampire film, The Monster Squad. I put it in because it's our channel and I wanted to put it in.
Why bloody not?
Why not?
Yeah, of course, it's got a vampire in it. The film opens up in Dracula's castle.
Yeah,
so why not?
And he's the main bad. He's just got a few minions that have got different powers. So Monster Squad came out 87, and when this came out, I remember seeing I saw a trailer for it, and I my mouth was drooling. Right, I love things like Goonies. And I was like, I love monsters. I was like, oh my God, this is the perfect movie. And because we didn't have the internet back then, I didn't know when it was coming out, just said coming soon. I remember seeing a big poster in the cinema for it when they're sitting on the car, the classic poster. I was like, oh, and it said 15 certificate. I was like, oh, I was only 10. How old was I? 7. It was like, no, sorry. When did it come out? Monster Squad, 87. So I was 8. And I was so gutted, and I think that's why the film kind of bombed, because everyone who loved the Goonies couldn't watch it, you know?
Yeah, definitely.
It's awesome film. Well, you saw obviously much later, but you saw relatively young.
Well, I saw it when I was very, very young. Yeah, I've always liked this one. I actually tried to show it to my daughter a few months ago, and I had to turn it off. I was gutted. Dracula's castle was a bit too scary for her.
Yeah.
So it opens up. It's got a great creepy setting. And she'll never be like, she'll just, as plain as day, say, nah.
It's not for you.
Nah.
Do you know, so it's about a group of boys who want to be monster slayers, and they happen to be the monster squad, and monsters happen to turn up. It's not that they assemble because of monsters. They're just the monster squad, and they're like, yeah, and there's real vampires. You got a Creature in the Black Lagoon. I'm sure Stan Winston did the makeup.
Yeah, he might have. I don't know for certain.
Almost positive. And you've got Shane Black wrote it, Iron Man 3 fame, and The Predator. But he's a good...
Kiss Kiss Bang Bang, top tier film.
with Samuel Jackson.
No. Robert Downey Jr. and Val Kilmer.
Val Kilmer. I'm thinking of The Long Kiss Goodbye, Goodnight.
The Long Kiss Goodnight with Gina Davis and Sam Jackson.
Yeah, I'm sure Shane Blackmore wrote that. I'm not 100%.
Yeah, but Kiss Bang Bang, top tier film.
Yes. Eli, Monster Squad is platinum tier, but for this platinum, I put it in gold. I would probably agree. Gold, I love it, but I'm going to stick it in gold.
Yeah, gold as well, yeah.
Sounds good. All right. Next up, we have Afflicted. Do you want to kick this off, Kurt?
Yeah, Afflicted. I added this one because it is one of my favourite found footage movies. This is a proper standout in the subgenre for me. It's basically about a guy who gets a disease and he starts getting ill. I don't like to talk about it because of the reveals in the film and the process that you go through in it. But it's on you. We're talking about vampire films.
It's a found footage vampire movie, you know?
Yes, of course. But it's treated like a virus, right? So this guy starts to get ill. He doesn't know what's going on with him. And then he starts to crave blood. But then the film gets quite... there's an upbeat to it then because he's got this great power. He's having fun with his friend. He's jumping up buildings and lifting heavy stuff. But then obviously the dark things start happening. He starts craving blood and he tries taking blood from rabbits and stuff.
Allergic to sunlight.
Yeah. Obviously he can't go out in the sunlight. He's stuck in this foreign country.
Yeah.
And there's one bit where a SWAT team come in the flat he's in. Oh my God. I don't know how they pulled it off on such a low budget because it's clearly a low budget movie. It's got that feel most found footage movies do. They don't have to pump loads of money into it. No. But if they had any money for this film, they pumped it into this one scene. He just obliterates this SWAT team. It's amazing.
Yeah, it is a really good film, and it's a massive hidden gem.
It is. Do you know why?
Most people haven't heard of it.
That poster there is all right? The poster we got there. But the poster is advertised on Shudder is awful. I would look at that and go, I'm not watching that. I would skip it.
I can't remember.
But it had terrible marketing and a terrible poster.
Yeah.
It looked like an AI-generated generic poster, let's say. I think the film deserves more.
It is a really good film. It's not tacky. It's just a very good found footage film. And we've mentioned it a few times in found footage. But I'd highly recommend it. And it's such a simple premise, but it just does it so well.
Yeah,
really does it so well. And read a couple of comments.
And you know what's nice as well is watching this one, not many found footage movies delve into that genre. It was nice to see something a bit different. It feels like a fully fledged horror film.
Yes, totally. Go on. I was going to say, I'll stick this in silver though, because it is a good film, but it's not quite.
Gold for me. I'm a big fan of this one, but it's not my favourite.
Yes, I'm going to read a couple of comments before we move on. So, Hugh Uckridge, thanks, welcome to the chat. I watched this in the cinema. We snuck in underage. I don't know which one you're on, but I'm guessing... What was
Monster Squad? Monster Squad.
Oh, yeah, because it's young. Oh, I'm jealous. Well, I haven't seen Afflicted. What?
Eli, I highly recommend this one,
yes.
pal. And if you do like your found footage movies, you love it, pal. It's right up your street.
100%. It's pretty good. I may have missed this, however, the original Fright Night. No, we haven't gone to Fright Night yet.
Yeah.
We're coming up now. Yeah, so next up we have Fright Night, the remake. These are out of order. So yeah, we saw this together, Kurt, 2011. It's crazy how long ago that was, with your father. And it is a good film.
Hungover.
It is a good film. Not one of my favourites. I've seen it a couple of times. I think they did enough different things in it for it to feel, especially David Tennant as this like
so good. Peter Vincent.
Yeah, Peter Vincent, and as this kind of like magician type TV presenter. You know, like he's not. Who the hell does he remind me of? Or like David Blaine type of / David Copperfield sleazeball. You know, he's really good. So yeah, I did like this. It's basically a retelling of the original, where the guy is living next door to a vampire. Nobody believes him. It's a kind of a take on Rear Window by Hitchcock. And it's worth a watch, definitely.
Yeah, I haven't seen this one in a long time. I remember really liking it when it came out. I've seen it a couple of times after. It's a very solid remake. I do think it's underrated. I think it's one that's been forgotten.
Yeah.
Colin Farrell is brilliant as Jerry Dandridge. What's his name?
Anton Yelchin.
Anton Yelchin.
Yelchin, yeah.
Yes, God rest his soul.
No, 27, horrible.
And yeah, David Tennant's fantastic in it as well. And what we always say, Jenks, is if you're going to remake something, do it different. And they do enough different in this one to make to separate itself from the original one.
You can enjoy it.
I would put it in silver, only because I don't like it as much as some of the other ones on here. But it's still a great remake. We put it on the list because we like it.
Yes, and it stars Colin Farrell, and he's awesome in The Penguin. If you haven't seen The Penguin, you need to watch it. It is top tier, and it shouldn't be as good as it is, but it is fucking awesome. Let's read a couple of comments before we move on. Hang on, let me put this on the list, sorry. Fright Night, silver, both of us, yeah?
Yeah.
Right, hang on. Where are we now? Gotta check it out. Yes, check it out, definitely. Eli, Fright Night, the remake is gold tier. I thought it was pretty cool. Yeah, definitely.
Definitely, yeah.
Okay, next up, we've got Bram Stoker's Dracula. Francis Ford Coppola's masterpiece. Kind of underrated because I wouldn't say underrated. It was a massive hit, but it's kind of forgotten. It's kind of like lost in time a little bit. It stars Anthony Hopkins, Gary Oldman as the vampire, as Dracula. You've got Keanu Reeves as Renfield. And it's a great
Anthony
film.
Hopkins.
Yeah, Anthony Hopkins as Van Helsing. You got a really good cast. There's more than that, but those are the main ones. And I think
Winona Ryder.
Anthony Hopkins was coming off the back of Silence of the Lambs with this one, and he was like, top Hollywood.
Yeah.
The only problem with this is Keanu Reeves' English accent is so fucking bad. It's distracting, and he's got a lot of dialogue, like a hell of a lot. And when this came out, Francis Ford Coppola insisted everybody read Bram Stoker's Dracula novel. And I just think Keanu Reeves must thinking, what the fuck, I gotta read a book.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right, I've got a confession to make. I'm here naming all these actors that are in the film. I know a lot about it. I've never seen it. Look, I've never watched it. I don't know why. I love vampires, one of my favourite movie monsters. I just never got around to watching it. I've come close a few times. I bought it on Blu-ray to watch it. Something came up and it ended up going to the bottom of the shelf.
Yep.
And I will definitely watch it soon. But that means I can't say shit about it.
I tell you what, okay? Why not just watch Street Trash one less time this year, right? And just watch Dracula instead. Yeah,
I think Dracula's a bit too classy for me. It's a bit too rich for my blood.
I genuinely think you'll be impressed. It's I know it's set in like sort of Victorian times or whatever, but it's a mindfuck. Like it's got some crazy scenes, and Gary Oldman's performance as Dracula is easily the best. outside Christopher Lee. You know, it is disturbing and fantastic. The makeup was groundbreaking, even for today.
Yeah.
You know, so yeah, I'm gonna stick this in. I'll probably stick it in silver because I'm not I'm not in love with it, but it is a very good film. Obviously, you can't do anything.
Yeah.
We should read a couple of comments quickly. Jordan, finally here. How's it going, Jordan?
I swear he's been here from the start.
Am I missing something? Hey, hello again.
Maybe he was talking about Dracula.
Yes. Yes, Andy makes Star Wars. Penguin was awesome, 100% on every level. It is really fucking good, mine.
I can't wait to watch it.
It's just written really well. Now, I'm not saying it's better than Breaking Bad or anything, but it's just on the same vein as that. It's not like a Batman show. It's more like Sopranos level of sort of grittiness and everything. Don Keat, would you watch Dracula, Christopher Lee and Peter Cushing from the golden era? I've seen most of them.
I've seen them all, yeah. I love them.
The first one I watched of Christopher Lee's Dracula was Taste the Blood of Dracula. And I watched that several times as a kid. And he is absolutely awesome. He is Dracula, isn't he? You know, without a doubt. Dawn, hope you see my above post. Yeah, sorry. Should have read it before. Dracula is silver tier only because Keanu Reeves' accent. Totally agree. Jordan, Curtis, where did you get the Lost Boys hoodie?
Right, so this one, I get all my horror jumpers from Hell on Shirts. They are awesome. They do have a website, but I usually grab this stuff from the conventions. They usually do all the conventions in the UK. But they do have a website, Hell on Shirts. Their stuff does sell out, and once it's gone, it's gone. You may not be able to get this one anymore from their site, but if you check the back out as well, it's gone awesome. Can you see that?
Yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah, they're awesome. So I've got about 10 hoodies from them. They are the best. And again, I'm not getting paid for this, right? This isn't a paid promotion. I'm not affiliated, but they are the best horror clothing brand out there, and they're great people as well.
That's cool. Eli, Jenkins needs to watch Dracula's and Argento's Dracula Street. Now, I'm guessing with a lol, it's a piece of shit.
Oh, yeah, it is. It's got Rutger Hauer in it.
Hey, Rutger Hauer's Batman Dark Knight.
Well, at one point, Rutger Hauer was the man.
Jordan Moran, I've been dipping in and out while trying to get my son to bed. He's the most evil creature of the night.
Forget vampires.
Awesome. I still need to watch Last Voyage of I've seen that.
I haven't watched it yet.
Demeter.
That got pulled from UK screens.
It's really good.
Or at least very limited. Yeah, I really fancy it.
I like the story because I like that. There was a BBC Dracula show, 3-parter with Bang, someone his name is, as Dracula. And the second half is on the boat. And that's awesome as well. You know, I love that story.
Oh my God. I love that story. It's my favourite episode in Dracula. Obviously, it's a classic tale in the book of Dracula. They've just taken one segment out and made it.
It's the best bit.
It's the best bit. I love it. It's just come on Amazon Prime to rent, so I'll be watching that one in the next week.
It's really good. Right. Next up, we've got Lost Boys. Look, if you haven't seen this film, it came out 87, another great year. 87 is fucking awesome year for movies. It's Lost Boys. Do we really need to give this an introduction? It is awesome.
No.
Do you want to do a cut? Just give a very brief one.
Yeah, so Lost Boys, you've got two brothers and their mother. They moved from Arizona from Phoenix to Santa Carla. Apparently murder capital of the world.
Yep.
And his older brother, Michael, one of the sons, he gets caught up with these group of vampires because he falls in love with one of the girls, Star, and it becomes a bit of a pissing match between him and David, and that's basically where the film goes. You've got the Frog Brothers, You've got Keith Sutherland as David, one of the best vampires of all time.
Yeah.
You've got Ted. Is he Bill or Ted? I don't know which ones they are.
Bill.
Yeah. This is one of the coolest movies ever made. It is one of my favourite movies. Yeah. I've met Keith Sutherland and Jason Patric. It was the greatest pleasure in my life. I just remember, right, obviously growing up, right, Lost Boys was the one. I remember getting it on VHS from MVC. It's like HMV. We had one of those in Llanelli, if you remember, Jenks.
Yeah.
I remember going there when I was a kid and buying Lost Boys on VHS, and oh my God, it blew me away. And I've obviously grown up watching this film, right? And I meet Keith Sutherland and Jason Patric. Keith is a bit bigger to me because he's been in so much more as well.
Yeah.
But I walk into this booth and Keith Sutherland's standing there and he goes to shake my hand and I'm like, what the fuck is going on?
No, he's a massive
insane
star.
Experience.
Massive
oh my God.
I love this film because, again, my cousin told me about it. He's a bit older than me. And he was saying, you got to watch this. It's like Goonies, kind of a Goonies vibe with kids on little bikes, but they're hunting vampires. And I think I watched it on a pirate because it was a 15 certificate. And it just blew me away. Like, it was one of the best. It is probably the best vampire movie ever. Stood the test of time. It's got a great soundtrack, like a fucking top tier. And Corey Haim in it. He is awesome. I wanted to be Corey. He was so cool. I wanted to be more than the Frog Brothers.
Great claws.
His hair was awesome. He just, he's good looking, and you're thinking, oh, I want to be him so much. How
good is that scene where he finds out that David is a vampire when he's in the bath?
Yeah. Oh,
it's so... you wait until I tell Mom. It's such a good line.
Yes, it's awesome. It's a great, great film. And it was directed by the guy who did Batman and Robin. Come on, we just talked about Batman and Robin.
Leave it out. It's Joel Schumacher also directed Falling Down. I'll leave a good taste in the
mouth. Phone Booth.
Yes, Joel Schumacher was a great director.
Yeah, he did something else as well.
Phantom of the Opera with Gerard Butler.
All right, forget about that. Right, it's obviously going in platinum for both of us. There's no debate. It is top tier. Right, next up, we've got What We Do in the Shadows. Oh, I love this. It's a mockumentary directed by Taika Waititi and I forget the other guy's name. There's two directors. What's his name? Anyway,
Jermaine Claremont.
And there's two directors. It's about a group of vampires, very like Interview the Vampire era, where they got the sort of old-fashioned Victorian outfits on, but they're living in the modern times in a house. They're sharing a house in New Zealand. And so they're playing it sort of exactly like a vampire movie, but the rest of the world is exactly like the rest of the world is now. And it is so spot on. It's got vibes of The Office, mixed in with vampires.
You've got to invite us in.
Yes.
Trying to get in nightclubs.
They can't get in nightclubs. It is the best thing. Now, I like the TV show a lot, but the film is just top tier. It is incredible. One of the funniest movies ever.
There is two of the greatest horror comedies of all time is Shaun of the Dead and What We Do in the Shadows. I remember watching this for the first time, right? I had crazy hype for this one. I remember all the press it got before it was released and when the film started to heat up. I remember watching this in cinema and I genuinely thought I was going to die. I genuinely got home, right, and my ribs were in bits because I laughed so much. What's the film on for an hour and a half? I laughed for an hour and a half straight. It is the funniest movie ever made. It's so clever. It's so witty. It's got some of the best writing I've ever seen in any comedy movie.
It is.
And it's a great horror film, like. It's so good. You've got the Nosferatu vampire down in the basement, and his name's Peter.
Yeah, Peter.
You got that, with that bit where Viago goes down to feed him his chicken, and he's like, Peter. It's so good because he's talking to him like he's a child in there.
Yeah.
And when he reveals himself from under that rock, he's like Nosferatu.
Yeah. I love when he's when Taika Waititi's character, I forget his name in it, when he's talking about keeping things clean and watching all the blood spill, and he bites somebody and it's squirting everywhere. He's got newspapers down trying to catch the blood like as if it's a dog.
Oh, fuck. But then the bit that follows that, when he's standing in the corridor and he's like adjusting his mic. He's covered in blood.
But he's moaning about them not doing dishes, and you're thinking, it is a funny joke of like, Yeah, who does do the dishes? Like, someone's got to do them. If you're vampires, yes, you don't imagine them doing it, but someone's got to do it, at one point.
And another standout scene is when, before they go on the night out, and obviously, like, they acknowledge in the film that they can't see their reflection, so they help each other get dressed. And they're, like, drawing pictures of each other, having a little fashion show.
Yeah.
You got, I call this one Dead But Delicious. Oh, I love this film.
Yeah.
I can't hype this film up enough. It's so good.
It's flawless, isn't it? It's like a Shaun of the Dead level, flawless. And it's going in platinum for me.
Yeah, same.
Let me just read a couple of comments. Eli, I would have thought meeting Jenkins would be the biggest pleasure of your life.
Eli, let me tell you one thing, right? Jenks is the biggest soul in my life, right? I've known him for, 31 years.
31 years.
31 years.
Yeah.
He's the biggest pain in my ass.
Yes.
Sometimes I wonder why I'm here.
I know. I don't know. Why are you here? Right, Jordan. My mum's cousin gave me Lost Boys in the late 80s before he emigrated to Australia. I think I was about 4 or 5. Absolute classic. Got the soundtrack on vinyl shortly after, of a 7-inch single as well. Yes. And Dante Cry Little Sister is an ace tune.
Yeah, absolutely. And, John, they are the best memories, pal. When you've got a connection with a film from a young age, Lost Boys is the one to have it with. It was the same with me. I remember, it's probably one of the only films I remember putting in. I remember even putting it in the VHS player. Yeah. Just my whole memory's there.
I got a confession. I was so obsessed with Lost Boys, right? My cousins and I, we made we made bow and arrows with stakes, right? And crossbows. And we found this old abandoned house because it looked creepy, and we thought maybe there's vampires. We went in like armed, proper armed. It's gonna be some like homeless guys in there, drug den. Oh fuck!
Fucking brilliant.
I remember walking down the street with arrows in a pouch. Those are the days, eh? Yes, Eli. What we do in the shadows is gold to you. It's funny as fuck.
Yeah,
yes,
it's so funny.
It is. Read a couple more. Ella Star, I finally saw What We Do in the Shadows recently. I did enjoy watching the TV show now. Yeah, the TV show is really good.
It's just as good. I just prefer the movie.
I do like the TV show. I've watched most of them. I think I'm on season 5. Some episodes are a bit flat, but I do like the characters, and it feels like a companion show. It's not the same. It's like a sequel series, really, isn't it? Because it's set in the same world.
Yeah, because they show up in it. The characters from the movie definitely show up in it, yeah, of course. And last one, John Davies. Hi, John.
Hi, John. Thanks for joining us. The original Fright Night is amazing. Roddy, really, I want to do a third. Too bad we never got it.
Yeah, I wasn't a massive fan of the sequel.
It's a weird one.
Yeah, they even did the same sequel for the new Fright Night. I never watched it.
Have they?
Yeah. They did a sequel to that one as well.
Straight to video?
Yeah, straight to video.
Didn't even know they did it.
Yeah.
Well, we're on Fright Night now. No, you want to kick us off because I know you love this.
Yeah, of course. I want to start the greatest poster of all time. How iconic is that poster? But yes, Fright Night is one of the best vampire movies ever made. One of the best movies ever made. Like we said about the remake, it's about a young guy, he gets a new neighbour, he starts spying on him, Rear Window style. He finds out he's a vampire, no one believes him, and the story goes from there, basically. But I just want to say as well, right, that Jerry Dandridge in this is probably the sexiest vampire of all time. That scene in the nightclub when he's seducing his girlfriend, I'm like that. I would need you to hypnotise me. You don't worry about using your vampire skills on me, boy. I'm coming. Yeah. I'd be all over him, like. Yes, and I almost met him. He was at one of the conventions I went to. His name has escaped me. Sir Chris Sarandon.
Chris Sarandon.
He's obviously in Child's Play as well, and he's the voice of Jack Skellington.
Yes, and he's got a very famous sister.
No, he hasn't.
Isn't it Susan Sarandon?
Ex-wife, boy.
Ex-wife, is it? Oh,
yeah.
Sisters.
No, it says ex-wife.
Well,
I think she just kept the name, maybe. I don't know.
Oh, I thought they were brother and sister. Or maybe I'm mixing up with Eric Roberts. because they're both kind of low
Julia
level.
Roberts,
Julia Roberts.
Yeah. But no, I love Chris Sarandon in this movie. He is awesome. Do you know, right, what's cool about this as well, right, is he's always eating an apple. And that was his idea, right, when he was on set. He was like, I think Jerry should always eat apples because he based his character on a fruit bat.
Right.
So he's like, what if my bat is a fruit bat? And he thought it'd be a good idea to obviously eat an apple.
Yeah.
Which I thought was a nice touch. But this is a proper 80s movie. It's got great practical effects, amazing makeup. Ed in it is amazing as well. His crazy friend, he's so good. It's got werewolves in there, vampires. It's just amazing. And do you know the bat at the end of the movie? That was from the set of Ghostbusters, but they thought it was too scary to include in the movie.
Oh, right.
So they remodeled it a bit and used it for Fright Night.
So the mad thing is, I saw Fright Night 2 multiple times before I saw Fright Night 1. As a kid, I preferred the second one because it was just a bit wackier, and I was young at the time, and I just liked the fact that it was just really strange sequel. It was not even close to the original. Very, very strange. But it is a great film.
It had Brewster in it, though. It did have Brewster in it.
I like this film a lot, but I would put it in silver because it doesn't really connect to me like it is for you. And I'm guessing platinum for you.
Oh, my God, Jenks. Silver.
Silver, yeah.
You put I Am Legend in platinum and you put in Fright Night in silver. Oh, my God.
Yeah, I have.
I can't cope with you. I can't even look at you right now.
I can't cope with you. You haven't even seen Dracula.
Oh my God.
I've been doing a vampire to you.
Silver, Jenks.
Silver is very good. Look, you got Afflicted in there. You've got 30 Days of Night, some good films. It's a good tier.
That's put me right off, that has. That's ruined my night.
You got a hard life. Do you guys have mods? Now, do you know what? I don't really know what a mod does.
So they moderate the chat, basically. If there's anything that we need, I think they can remove people, or if there's anything going on in the comments that we can't keep an eye on, they do that. I don't 100% know exactly what they do, but I know you kind of need them when you've got loads of people.
Yes.
I don't know.
We
don't have moderators.
I did have a rough idea, but I'm guessing it's something we probably would explore further along down the line.
Yeah, I don't know.
But yeah, I think Davey Deathry's got moderators.
Yeah, he has, yeah.
Donkey, Corey in the bathroom scene singing his little weird song. Then the dog starts yeah. The dog starts growling madly. Lost Boys loved it.
Nanook. How scary is Nanook when he starts growling? Oh my God.
Yeah.
Scariest part in the film.
It's only noodles, Michael. Fright Night.
Maggots, Michael. You're eating maggots. Yeah, thank you, Eli. I knew you'd back me up.
Right, next up, we've got Vamp.
I love this film.
Now, I watched it. I watched this a lot of times. I love Grace Jones, the vampire. She was born to play a vampire. It came out 86, and it is quite trashy, but it is a lot of fun. I haven't seen it for about 30 odd years probably. I just remember some teens go to a pub or a club and they meet some people who are vampires or something. Can't remember.
Yeah, it's that basically. I haven't seen it in a while. I've got it on Blu-ray. I probably watched it like 5 years ago. But I remember, right, my father had, do you know those like polystyrene cut-out skin video shops? And it was about, honestly, huge, massive polystyrene cutout. You probably remember it, Jenks. My father had one.
Yeah, totally. It's the cover. I particularly looked for this cover because of your dad's massive
and he threw it out one day, which is just mental, but I loved that. You had the green vampire Grace Jones, and she had like those spirals on her breasts. Yes. It's so good.
Eli hasn't seen this. Wow.
Oh, Eli, you'd love Vamp. It's the perfect amount of cheese. But I will say one thing, right? As cheesy as the film is, Grace Jones is an absolutely terrifying vampire. There's a scene where one of the boys is, because it's like a strip club. He's lying on the couch and she's on top of him. When she's on top of him, right, he's got no escape. And when her face turns right, she's so scary, right? She's on top of him. You know there's no escape. Oh my God, she's absolutely terrifying in it. Probably one of the scariest vampires I've seen.
Yeah, and
proper feral, you know.
Thing is, Grace Jones is quite scary anyway.
Yeah.
So you throw in a vampire movie, it's even better. 1 second, read a couple of these. I love camp and trashy, but great practical effects, and Grace Jones is wild.
Yes, spot on, Jordan Pallet, definitely.
My chunky Geordie, welcome to the channel. Welcome to the show. Mods are good for your channel, and choose people you can trust who are on the most of your videos. Mods can time people out, etc., and drop links for you.
Awesome. Okay. Thank you for that.
Yeah, appreciate that. Something to consider. It's all quite new to us, really. We're learning on the job, isn't it?
Dog scared. Where's the mum's scared? Yeah, what was the name of George's dog?
In what?
The one that chases her. Lost Boys. The one that chases her out of.
Not the Nook or the other dog.
No, yeah. I can't remember his name now.
Can't remember. Right, next. We got Vamp. So I'm going to stick it on Silver. It's a good bit of fun, but it's got to go low for me.
Yeah.
Agree?
Yeah. I do love it, but I'd have to put it on the bottom.
Right.
2 seconds, Jags.
Yeah.
I think there was a few more comments here that you missed. Oh, you're so funny because different opinions appeal to everyone. Definitely. Now, half messing, half not messing. I think it is nuts. You ranking that so low. But I appreciate your opinion, Jenks.
I'm quite shocked that you put I Am Legend in Silver. That's more disgusting.
Oh, it hasn't, Jenks. It's not that good. It's not that good.
It's awesome.
Yeah, because it's a big blockbuster movie, Will Smith in it, and that's right up your street.
Yeah. I think, Will Smith.
It's not very good, Jenks, and it hasn't aged well at all.
When's the last time you watched it?
Watch Omega Man instead, all right? With Charlton Heston. Much better.
When's the last time you watched it?
Like 10 years ago, maybe.
I watched it recently. It's fucking awesome.
Yeah, but it was crap 10 years ago, so it's going to be even worse now.
I don't know. There's so much crap now that you probably enjoy it more because there was so much choice.
And you know what?
Lost in the mix.
I can't stand Will Smith either. So
I
liked Will Smith back then. That's what I'm saying. I liked Will Smith back then, but now I can't stand the guy. So I'm not going to enjoy it now. Anything he does now, I switch off. I can't be asked.
Right, we're on our last two, and it's Blade 2. This was directed by Guillermo del Toro, sequel to Blade, and it came out 2002, and it's a badass sequel with some of the best practical effects and CGI. That's what we expect from Guillermo del Toro. He got amazing effect with the mouth opening, the sort of new breed of vampire. And it is top tier sequel. And I love it. It's a shame about the third one.
It's a Guillermo del Toro movie. He took an existing IP and put his own spin on it. It feels nothing like the first movie, and that's not a bad thing. I love the vampires in this one. The action's better. I think... So Blade 1 is iconic, right? But I've always preferred Blade 2. I think Blade 2 is a better film. If you took the beginning of Blade 1 and put it in Blade 2, it'd be the perfect movie.
So for me, I would say that Blade 2 is a better movie. Better characters, better everything, better effects. But I've just loved the first one. It's a bit like Spider-Man. You know, Spider-Man 2 has got all the effects and it's a bigger film. Yeah. Same as Dark Knight. It's a bigger film. But I just prefer the first one. It just connects with me more. I know the CGI is ropey in the first Blade, but he's just so fucking cool. And
it is a great film. No, I know that. It is a great
film.
But
it is a really good sequel. And I will put it on gold, the same level as Blade, even though Blade just slightly gets it for me. I don't know about you.
I'd put it in gold.
Yeah, same, yeah.
Yeah.
I think with
Max,
the last...
man. Thank you, Hugh.
Max. Oh, that's an easy one, isn't it?
Yeah, I know.
That was silly.
Bloody hell. Crap Lost Boys fan. It completely escaped me. Max.
Dawn Heat. I am Legend. Jenks, I agree with you. Thank you. Wabi, sorry I'm late. No problem. Thanks for joining us, Wabi. Appreciate it. Really appreciate it. So the last one, just by coincidence, because it's in alphabetical order, it's Vampires is the last one of our vampire tier. John Carpenter, your favourite ever director. This was in his lower era of films, I think. It came out
definitely
98. And like I said, it stars what's his name?
James Woods.
James Woods, who's always good to watch. He's a great actor. I love him.
Videodrome.
He's in Cat's Eyes as well. It's awesome. He's an awesome actor.
Scary Movie 2.
And he actually steals the show.
He does.
I'm not a big fan of that film, but that scene with him, when he goes like, fuck this shit, he comes out. So Vampires is about they're a group of vampire hunters, and it's a bit like, how can I describe it? It's like
a western. It's a western vampire movie, some sorts.
But they are going because they go around. They're sort of like, they're not like Men in Black where everything's quite neat, but they're a faction of vampire hunters. They go around, and they're kind of like hillbillies. They got like trucks, and they send vampires out into the sun, which is a really cool scene. The vampires bury themselves, and the head vampire is a badass. Like I said, he's Terry Silver from Cobra Kai.
Yeah, now, I haven't seen this one in a long time. I do think it's underrated. It is one of Carpenter's weaker films. I think Prince of Darkness was Carpenter's last great movie. Now, I think Prince of Darkness is as good as his really early stuff.
Yeah.
But yes, I think Vampires has got a flash of some of Carpenter's greatness. But this is around the time where he obviously started to lose it a little bit. I need to give it another watch. Like I said at the start, I never connected with it as much when I was a kid. I loved all of Carpenter's earlier stuff. I've got it on Blu-ray, so I will rewatch it. As it stands now, I put in silver just because I'm a bit foggy on it.
Have you seen Vampires Los Muertos starring John Bon Jovi?
John Bon Jovi, yeah.
I haven't.
I haven't, but I know Bon Jovi's in the sequel,
Yeah. I'm going to stick it on silver. I can't go anywhere else, really, can I?
Yeah.
And look at that. Dracula right at the bottom, because you haven't seen it. It's grim. I'm going to stick it on platinum. Fuck it. To make our list neat. That's our tier. It was great. I got to say, there's some fucking cracking vampire movies about, isn't there?
There is too many. Now, I knew I would struggle with this one, because when I give you the list of films I wanted to put on, I was like, there's no way I can put any of these lower than top tier. There's just so many good ones. I can't really name you that many bad ones. If there is bad ones, I just don't know about them because I haven't bothered with them, right? But it's such a strong genre of horror films.
That's why good. That's why I didn't want to put gold, silver, bronze. I didn't want to put anything in bronze. It just seemed too low.
Yeah, of course. There's too many good ones.
It is. And it's nice, actually, not having from best to worst, as in, like, having shit ones, like...
Something's got to go last there.
Yeah, but I'm glad we haven't done, like... I like doing best to best rather than best to terrible, like Twilight and all these shitty films. I just can't be bothered.
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind doing a tier of all bad ones. It'd be fun, but, things like Twilight is dog shit.
Give me your top 3 vampire movies of all time.
Me?
Top 3. Yes, top 3.
Okay, number 1 is Salem's Lot.
Yeah.
Number 2 is Lost Boys. And let me just quick look at this tier. It's probably going to be Dusk Till Dawn.
Yeah.
It's got to be Dusk Till Dawn. I love that movie. It's pretty fucking special to me.
Yeah, from Dusk Till Dawn, Lost Boys, Fright Night. Top 3. I'd say top 3 best vampire movies. Yeah,
it's always been between Lost Boys and Salem's Lot. But I'm just obsessed with Salem's Lot.
Of course, yeah.
I just love Kurt Barlow. Do you know even the bit where, that the kid is in the grave, and he opens it and the kid's asleep,
it's so
dead.
Good.
And just the image of a child in there, it's just so disturbing, and the wind, and it's kind of like dusk almost, still quite light, and it's just so disturbing. It's a fucking great film.
I've got to say, I enjoyed the remake so much. I really enjoyed the remake.
Yeah, 100%. Alistair, what new horror film are you both looking forward to? Nosferatu?
Yes, Nosferatu. So there's 2 now that I'm really looking forward to. No, 3. So you've got Nosferatu coming out January over here in the UK. I think it's out on Christmas Day everywhere else.
Who goes on Christmas Day to the cinema?
Yeah, I know. We've got Heart Eyes, which is a new slasher movie coming out. The trailer looks fantastic.
And Wolfman.
Wolfman. And Companion looks amazing.
Companion, yeah. So I hope it's good because it's quite it doesn't give away a lot in the trailer.
No,
you got Sophie Thatcher in it with that horrible scene where she's burning her hand.
Yeah.
I hope it's good. That's it, I think. There's nothing massive beyond that I can think of next year. I think Saw 11's coming out, which I'll catch. And Scream 7. But
when that finally gets made,
Scream 7.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Saw 11 is in the bag. I think it's in pre-production because it's meant to come out this year. But I think it was a bit tight.
They've got to get it out quick. He's getting old now, isn't he?
They've got to get it out quick. 1 second. Jordan Moran, I had a good time with Salem's Lot remake.
That's it, pal. I had a good time with it. No, I'm not saying it is a patch on the original. Now, it doesn't feel like another adaptation. It does feel like a remake of that one. Obviously, they kept similar beats. They changed a few things, like the ending and some of the plot points.
Yeah.
But I just had a great time with it. I went in with low expectations because what everyone was saying about it. I had a bloody good time watching it. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, I watched it in the house. I was quite ill when I watched it, and it was just a bit of a comfort movie. I did like it. I think I told you it is good. This, people saying it's shit, just didn't connect with it as much. Maybe I'm a bit precious to the original because it does feel, like you said, a remake of the original rather than a new adaptation. Yeah. And there was some cool scenes in it, especially when the vampires start appearing on top of the rooftops and they look around. There's more, and that's fucking visual.
They pull up outside the house, and he goes, "Don't look to your left." And he looks, and they've got a few of them standing on top of the house.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Oh my god, it's so good.
Yeah.
And the bit where he's running back into the church, and he just it's pulled up.
Yes,
such a great visual.
Yes.
Oh my god.
Yeah. So Eli, if you guys need a mod, I'd be glad to do it. A mod for Davies, cool, and a couple of others. I tell you what, me and Curtis will have a chat, and we're a bit new to it, so we'll have a chat and see, we'll look into it a bit more. But I appreciate it.
Definitely, pal. When we're having a mod, we'll 1,000,000% come to you, pal. You've been awesome to the channel.
Yeah, really appreciate it.
We appreciate you reaching out like that, pal. Thank you.
Yeah.
But I love, that you've got the right in there, but you paraphrase. It's there in front of you. And
do you know where it was? Do you know where it was? I read it in the comments, and I put it up for us to share it. So I'd already read it. Don Keith, have you got any favourite tunes from any of the above discussed tonight?
I have.
It's Lost Boys. It's that song you mentioned, Cry Little Sister. I don't know. Is that called that? It's my favourite.
It is, yeah. Dark Night from Dusk Till Dawn. It opens up to that song and it finishes in that song. Is one of the greatest songs ever, and it just works perfectly with the film. When I hear that song, it's from Dusk Till Dawn. Same as Cry Little Sister and Lost Boys.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Dark Night and From Dusk Till Dawn. My favourite soundtrack of all time.
Do you know as well, Dracula, the film you haven't seen, Bram Stoker's Dracula. You got Annie Lennox does a really good song for it. And I think I can't remember it's called. I think it might be Sympathy for the Vampire, something like that, the title is. But it is a really good song. It plays at the end of the film. And it was in the charts at the time. I remember thinking, I love this song. But yeah, I can't think of anything else. Is there any other ones that pop up in that? Blades in the Place, London.
Yeah, Blades in the Place, London.
Yeah.
Operation Blade.
Is that
what he says? Yeah, Blades in the Place, London.
I think it's just remixed.
I never knew that. I always thought it was just based in the Place, London. I don't know.
Oh, it could be. I think
Based in the
people
Place,
assume.
London.
Yeah, it could be. I think people maybe assumed it was Blades in the Place, London.
Yes, such a good song. Oh my God.
Yeah.
But Lost Boys and From Dusk Till Dawn and Pulp Fiction, my top 3 favourite soundtracks of all time. Now, not score, they don't have scores.
Yeah.
But soundtrack-wise, probably my 3 favourite soundtracks.
Mine are Lost Boys, Pulp Fiction, and Donnie Darko.
Yeah, Donnie Darko's got such
So
good
fucking
soundtrack.
good.
Tears for Fears. Yeah, it's awesome.
Yes. Guns N' Roses, Sympathy for this.
His
Dev.
toilet. I love that saying.
I haven't heard that. Oh, they remade. I remember that. Yeah, this is not the song I'm on about. This is an Annie Lennox
Yeah,
song.
go on, backtrack, Jenks.
No, it's a different song completely. It's a slow love song. Maybe I'm gonna have to Google what it's called. Maybe it's not called Sympathy for the Vampire. Maybe I'm completely off. Requiem for a Dream is a killer score. Yes, it does.
Oh my God, that film is grim, isn't it? Oh,
when his arm is gone. Oh, it's buzzing.
Yeah.
So good.
Jared Leto, how dare he have such a great acting career and be in a massive rock band?
Yeah, I know.
How dare you?
And really good looking.
And he's got an Oscar.
Yeah, it's not fair.
How dare you?
Yeah, thank goodness he's short, isn't it? Fuck's sake.
It's mad how many films he's shown up in. American Psycho, there's so many. Fight Club.
Oh, right. So I see. That song's from Interview the Vampire. With the Guns N' Roses one.
Yeah.
But the Annie Lennox one, you have to Google it.
Yeah, I don't know if I've heard it.
Yeah, what's it called? Oh, Love Song for a Vampire. The Annie Lennox. Love Song for a Vampire. Yeah. That's a great song. Not Sympathy for the Vampire. Pretty close. Came out like 40 years ago. It's not too bad. Yes, Return of the Living Dead has a fantastic soundtrack.
Do you want a party?
Oh, yeah.
So good. Yeah, it's got a great soundtrack.
Yeah, it is. It makes you like punk music, even if you don't like punk music.
We're talking about movie music, right? One of the best scores now in any movie. If any of you are fans of Dario Argento, Tenebrae. Oh my God. I listen to that score on headphones sometimes. Normal people listen to like regular music when they're walking. I've usually got like a score from a movie on.
Yeah.
Oh my God, the score from Tenebrae is top tier. I almost swore then. That's how passionate I am about him. Any Dario Argento movie, you've got Goblin, Suspiria, Tenebrae. Oh my God, they've got outstanding scores.
Yes. Right. Do you mind wrapping up there? Because I've got...
Yeah, no, I'm in the office in the morning.
Yeah. Right, guys, as usual, we had a blast tonight, and we really appreciate everyone's jumping on, and it feels like we're building a community, and I love it. It's fucking awesome, isn't it?
Have you seen the third Tales from the Crypt called Ritual? Is that a third movie? Is that what you're saying? Because if there is, I haven't seen it. Now, I've seen every episode of the series, but I didn't know there was a third Tales from the Crypt movie.
Yeah.
I'll have to look it up. Tenebrae does have a great score. Oh my God, it's so good.
Jordan Moran, I missed seeing Goblin in concert playing 2 full scores. Can't remember which films.
Do you know Goblin were a rock band who got hired to do a movie, and they did so well that they just rebranded themselves as Goblin and started doing film scores. Yeah.
Well, Danny Elfman used to be in a pop band.
Yeah, I know.
Right. Yeah, we really appreciate everyone jumped on. It's so much fun, and we're seeing the same people pop up.
Good night, Wendy.
Which is good night both. Awesome. And it's great seeing people all the time. I love it.
Yes, and thanks for jumping on the tier, Jod. We appreciate it so much, honestly. Yeah. Thank you, pal.
Yes. Thank you, Dawn. Really appreciate it. And thanks, Eli.
Eli, I'll look that up now, pal. After the stream, I'll definitely look that up.
Eli, you got to watch Vamp.
Yes, you got to watch Vamp.
Yes.
Thank you, Ella. We appreciate that so much.
Appreciate it. Right, guys. If you love horror, movies, rankings, whatever, check out our channel. Make sure you subscribe. Tell your friends about the channel, and we'll catch you on the next one. Cheers, guys.
Cheers, guys.